Have you ever had those days where nothing feels worth doing? You sit down to work, to study, or to just start, and somehow your brain whispers, "What's the point?" You try to push through, scroll for inspiration, maybe even watch a few productivity videos. But still, that spark, that drive you used to feel, it's just gone. And the worst part? You start feeling guilty for not feeling motivated. You think, why can't I just get it together? The truth is, motivation fades for everyone. Even the most disciplined people. The real difference isn't in who feels motivated. It's in who keeps moving without it. So today, let's talk about how to stay focused when nothing feels motivating. And I'll show you a simple, practical system that helps you move forward, even on the hardest days. This isn't about forcing yourself or pretending to be inspired. It's about understanding why focus slips when motivation disappears, and how to rebuild it with small, intentional steps. By the end of this video, you'll have a system, something calm, repeatable, and sustainable. That will help you get things done even when you don't feel like it. Let's start with the first principle. Most people wait to feel ready before doing something. But here's the paradox. Action doesn't follow motivation. Motivation follows action. When you feel unmotivated, your brain is craving comfort, not progress. It wants safety, not challenge. And that's okay. That's how the brain protects itself from overload. But if you link doing something with feeling inspired, you'll rarely get started. Here's what helps. Learn to separate emotion from action. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like studying right now?" Ask, "What's the smallest step I can take regardless of how I feel?" That shift, from feeling-driven to action-driven, rewires your brain to associate discipline with movement, not mood. Even if you just open your notebook, write one line, or read one paragraph, you've broken the mental barrier, and that small act can snowball into full focus. I used to tell myself, "I'll start when I feel motivated." Now I remind myself, "I'll start so I can become motivated." Motivation loves novelty. Systems love consistency. The problem with depending on streaks or perfect days is that once you break one, your brain sees it as failure. You lose momentum, and suddenly the guilt of starting over feels heavier than the task itself. Instead, build a simple system. Something so small that even on your lowest days, you can still do it. For example, instead of saying, "I'll study 3 hours a day," say, "I'll study one topic every day, no matter how long it takes." You're shifting the goal from time-based to action-based. That's powerful because it focuses on continuity, not perfection. Japanese students follow a principle called Kaizen, continuous small improvement. They don't chase huge goals. They just do a little every single day. And over time, that rhythm creates mastery, even without bursts of motivation. The key is this. Your system should survive even your worst moods. That's how you win the long game. When we think of focus, we imagine laser intensity, hours of deep work with zero distraction. But that's not realistic every day. Focus isn't about force. It's about gentle attention. There's a difference between pushing your brain and guiding it. When you push, you burn out. When you guide, you flow. Here's a small trick. Instead of saying, "I have to focus," say, "Let me return to what I'm doing." That word, return, reminds your brain that distraction is normal. It's not failure. Every time you bring your mind back, you're training attention like a muscle, calmly, without judgment. Some days your attention span might be 5 minutes, other days an hour. That's okay. What matters is that you return, again and again, because gentle consistency outperforms forced intensity every time. When motivation disappears, most people blame themselves. But often the problem isn't you. It's where you are. Your environment constantly sends cues to your brain. A cluttered desk tells your mind you're behind. A dark room says, "Stay still." Even the apps on your phone whisper, "Don't start, scroll instead." So before you try to change your mindset, change your surroundings. Clean your desk. Put your phone in another room. Open the window. Play calm background noise, like rain or ambient sound. You'll be surprised how much focus returns when your space invites it. Think of your environment as a quiet assistant. one that helps your brain remember what it's supposed to do. When you make it easy to start, you make it easy to stay. When nothing feels motivating, starting is the hardest part. So make it almost effortless to begin. Here's how. Use the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself, I'll do this for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes of reading. 2 minutes of organizing notes. 2 minutes of writing. Once you start, something strange happens. Your brain's resistance drops. Because you've already overcome the hardest step, beginning. It's like pushing a car. The first few inches take effort, but once it rolls, momentum carries it forward. I've used this on countless low-energy days. Often those just 2 minutes turn into 20 or even 60. But even when they don't, you've still built trust with yourself, that you can start no matter how you feel. That trust is worth more than any burst of motivation. Sometimes the reason we lose motivation isn't fatigue, it's disconnection. You forget why you started. When your goals feel distant or meaningless, even small tasks feel heavy. That's why Japanese students often begin each day with a bow, a small moment of intention before they study. It's not ritual for the sake of tradition, it's a reminder, this matters. So when you feel lost, pause. Ask yourself, what's the quiet reason behind what I'm doing? Maybe it's to become independent. Maybe it's to help someone. Maybe it's simply to grow. Reconnect with that reason, gently, without guilt. Because purpose fuels discipline far longer than pressure ever could. Now let's be honest, this system isn't magic. There will be days where even the 2-minute rule feels hard, where you'll want to scroll instead of study. That's normal. The mistake isn't in failing once. It's in assuming failure means the system doesn't work. Motivation fades, focus drifts, but systems reset. The point is not to avoid bad days, but to make it easy to recover from them. So when you fall off track, don't overcorrect. Just restart. Calmly, quietly, without drama. Because real discipline isn't about never falling. It's about learning how to stand up without noise. Let's quickly recap. Separate emotion from action. Don't wait to feel ready. Start small. Create a system, not a streak. Consistency beats perfection. Redefine focus as gentle attention. Keep returning to what matters. Change your environment. Let your space work for you. Use the 2-minute rule. Start tiny to restart momentum. Reconnect with purpose. Remember why it all matters. When you follow these, you stop depending on motivation and start depending on rhythm. Here's the truth. Motivation will come and go, but focus built on small systems will last. So next time you wake up feeling unmotivated, don't panic. Don't force inspiration. Just begin. One small, honest step. Because once you start moving, your mind catches up. And slowly you'll realize. You don't need motivation to make progress. Just a calm system that works even when you don't feel like it. If this video helped you, leave a like, subscribe, and share one habit you'll use to rebuild focus in the comments. Because sometimes one small system can change the weight of an entire day.